Hello, 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 hello. Here we go. Does it work? You can hear me okay? Don't want to mess around. Same thing happened like last time. Shoot, should untangle this. Hold on. Be a little bit disorienting. Give me a minute. There we go. Way too many cables. All right. Let's get this thing started. You're on your way home? Well, let's try to drive safe. Don't get too distracted from these heavy bangers we're about to get into. Get you some entertainment for the ride home. But let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am super excited to check out this new album. Black Veil Brides has just released the newest, upcoming, latest album. And I'm super excited for this one, man. I'm really super excited to check this one out for you guys because it has been a long time coming for these guys, actually. Because, like I said, all these new singles that have been coming out have just been hitting harder. Each single just becoming more and more intense. It seems like, from back to back, release after release, it just seems like they're entering this new heavy metal, this new like darker age of Black Veil Brides, and I'm here for it, man. I am here for it, especially on the tone side of things, the aggression. Andy's doing a lot more screams, a lot more like, intensity style vocals, intense vocals with the way he's like portraying some of the like the verses, some of the lines he's screaming out, and I like that, man. I like that, man. He never really done that before, I would say, because like I said, it's been a long time since I've gotten back into these guys. Let me just say, because it's been probably over a decade since I last checked these guys out. But like on my own time, I would say, because I just started coming back to them when I started doing this channel, when they started doing those like new releases and stuff like that. I didn't forget about them. I knew they were still there. They just weren't really my style of metal at the time. They weren't really as like what I was looking for. They were good, like I said, don't get me wrong, but they just weren't like, I felt like they had this like arena rock kind of like, anthem sort of chanty, style, sound to them, and I was kind of like not really feeling it. But ever since they changed this new intense tone, this new heaviness route they're going in, I'm all in, man. I'm definitely all in. I'm super excited to check these guys out. But let me just say a little bit of backstory on how I like, came across these guys for you guys. But like I said, I came when I first was introduced to this band. I was probably like, when I first heard him was like back when I in like when I was used to playing like a lot of games. I used to play a lot of like different style of games. That used to got me into like a lot of metal bands when they used to have metal songs in the game, like radio stations. Similar to like GTA and stuff like that. But I first came across these guys, believe it or not, back in Saints Row 3. They actually had a lot of tracks on there actually that I liked, from back in the day. And then like they had this, metal, this rock sort of station on there, and they had one of their tracks on there. I believe it was called Perfect Weapon. I think it was one of the songs, and I gravitated towards that. I'm like, oh, these guys actually pretty slap. So ever since then, I gravitated to more towards these guys amongst, other bands. And I believe Miss May I was on there too as well, which got me into them as well, also from that game. But like I said, ever since I heard that track, I dived into them. I believe it was from their first, debut album from back in the day. At the time, when the game came out, that they were probably a couple albums in. So I checked them out, man. I believe, Wretched and Divine was like the most released one that came out, or it was the next anticipated album coming out since that game. But I checked them out. And then Wretched and Divine, when that dropped, it came out. That was probably like my favorite album to go back and listen to repeatedly, at least from them. I did check out like some other stuff, from back in from other albums since then. But I don't know, just that album I just gravitated towards to the most, I would say. But then ever since then, I kind of dropped off. I didn't really, go back to them, after the next album release. I didn't really go check them out, after I listened to that album, so I was actually kind of, bummed, I would say. No, actually for me, because I should have went back and, and checked out them their albums after that. I don't know why I didn't do it, but I don't know. I just kind of, fell off with the sound, I guess. I just felt like, this is what they do. I'm like, there's nothing really more to that. But I'm gonna have to go back and check out these guys' previous albums besides this one, because there might be some heavy hitting stuff that I maybe have missed, besides this new album and new stuff we've checked out already. So like I said, man, I'm super excited for this one. I'm super hyped. Andy, like I said, man, you never know what this man's going to do next. You never know what kind of vocal style he's going to do next on all these tracks. So I'm super excited. I'm definitely excited. So there is a lot of tracks on this one that we have, listened to already. So do be, we're warning for that. So there has been a lot of singles they released for this upcoming album. This is a pretty stacked album, I would say. We got 14 tracks. That's a lot. That's a hefty album, I would say. That's pretty much, longer than the previous, albums we've reacted to already on this channel. So that's a pretty stacked album. Andy's been busy in the studio. These guys have been busy, I would say. I don't know how long, they've been working on this album, I would say. So probably like a couple years, I would say. So now I'm pretty excited, man. A lot of work's probably going into this one, a lot of dedication I could already see on all these tracks. They are doing a new sound. They are trying something new. They are doing something different, I would say, for the band as a whole. I would say, like I said, I don't know if they've done this sort of tone, this sort of sound before, but it's definitely new to me. So I'm definitely excited to check this one out for you guys as well. But I'm excited, man. Let's get right into it. So the first one here is only about 2 minutes, so it's probably like an introduction. It's probably like like an instrumental piece, I would say, that a lot of these metal bands like to do to set the tone for the record, set the tone, to get the crowd amped up, get the listeners amped up to get ready for this album. So let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it. This is the first track off the new Black Veil Brides record, Invocation to the Muse. To the Moose, to the Muse. I believe that's how you say it. Come on, my eyesight's terrible. I can't. It's hard to me to read that. But this is the first track off the new Black Veil Brides record, Invocation to the Muse. Let me know if the music's too loud too, as I can turn it down a little bit. Like gothic intro. Really sets that dark mood. Seems like we're going to church. Is Andy gonna preach to us?
In my darkest moments, I know they never believed.
Guess so.
You can see it in their eyes, the body language, the silence. I wonder if you feel that too. So often in life, we find ourselves swallowing an insult. It burns. The fire of hatred and agony swelling inside. You can attempt to keep it down, but you know the truth. You won't forgive. You shouldn't forgive. All that power you can possess from vengeance, from knowing they are wrong.
From the heart.
Grasp it. Never let it go.
Let's go, Andy. Let that
never
aggression
break,
out.
Never bend, never kneel. Every doubt, every slight, every time they turn away, keep it. Let it fester. Let it shape you.
Let's get it. I'm in. I'm already in.
Carve your name so deep in this world that they will never escape it. No redemption. No forgiveness.
Definitely a new age.
Vindicate.
Definitely a new side of Andy. Let's go. I'm already in. I'm hyped. This is like, so judging by that alone, I guess this whole album is like based on like anger, based on aggression. I would say, at least that's what he was saying. You know, like in that little sermon, that little preachy bit we were getting there. But so I don't know if that's the whole tone of the record. But there's a lot of anger, aggression. There's a lot of built up pent up energy, I would say. So I don't know if my boy Andy's going through some stuff. I don't know if he just wants to to express this new kind of sound through that sort of new energy that he's been talking about. So I don't know, I'm very interested, but let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. So this is technically the first track off the new record, the title track rather, Vindicate. Now we've already reacted to this one. This one is, I believe, the second or like third single that they released one. So I do know this one. This one has definitely been stuck in my head a lot. I would say it's very catchy. It's very simple, but it still hits hard. It still has that, sets that tone, sets that anger, sets that, new age tone that these guys are going for. So let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Says, I don't know the whole video side of things. I have no idea what's going on. I was, kind of scared to, put this up on YouTube or like show this on the video, because the video can be kind of like very graphic, I would say. So it's very, I don't know how they got permission to post this thing. So I don't know about the whole idea of the story behind that, but definitely, startling or very jarring if you haven't seen the video before. But fair warning. But either way, let's get into it. This is Black Veil Bride's first release track off the record, Vindicate.
I feel the rage begin, boiling in my blood with all my pride and sin. Vindication always starts with
Go boys! Set that record tone!
They say that we are born believing, and then they take your soul to steal you. I can feel my anger.
Love that riff.
Driving me. I can hear your screams. I feel lost and loud. Everything you say, another sacred vow. Never let it go until you drown. I know I'll never let it die.
Let's get it.
The memories burn through, and I'll fucking vindicate.
Still got those catchy choruses, bro. Screams up there.
I'm haunted by the ghosts of my own life. Won't let them die. I'm feeling lost and loud. Everything you say, another
Preach it, Andy.
sacred vow.
Tell us.
Never let it go until you drown. I know I'll never let it die. All of the memories burn through, and I'll fucking vindicate my life and bury what's left of you.
Let's go, Andy. Give us those new tones. Give us those new deep breakdowns.
Misery, the dark consuming me, just
Build it up.
beast. I cannot sleep.
Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. Get that solo piece in.
I know I'll never let the sacred vow. Never let it go until you drown.
Oh yeah, see, it's such a short one, but it's such a short and sweet. Just it doesn't overstay its welcome. It just lets out all the aggression, lets out all this new tone, lets out all this new energy. It's just in a short little compact, little treat, man. I like that. I like that, man. They could argue it could go a little bit longer, but it is what it is. But I like that, man. I like that. Very good. I like that they put the title track on the forefront. I like that they show what the title track is about. They don't like hide it away, buried amongst all the other tracks that a lot of bands tend to do. They tend to hide the title track for some reason. I don't know why, but I feel like the title track should be the first one. It should be and closer to the front of the album, if that makes sense. Because if you want to name the track after an album, you want to push it forward. You want to name the first one. You got to show what the whole album's about, if that makes sense. Because I don't know why bands like to hide the title track so far down in the album, but I don't know. That's just me. It is what it is. But solid track, man. Like I said, very catchy on the chorus side of things, very deep on the tone side of things, very old school doomy inspired, I would say, as well. Very meaty on the tones as well. I like that first beginning, jumpy melodic riff though. I don't know what they're playing. I don't know what notes they're doing, but it just sounds so good, man. So on the low end, but you could still hear those jumpy notes, riffing around in there on the top string. But I like that, man. Definitely like that sort of play style. Very on the deep side of Chug stuff, like I said, but I'm very catchy on the chorus side of things. My man Andy always does his catchy choruses. He always has those big open, those choir esque inspired choruses, those anthem inspired choruses, I would say. So I would say it kind of throws off the tone a little bit, I would say, but just because the tone is so heavy and then the chorus just comes out, just sounds all happy, I would say. But either way, it is a catchy song nonetheless. It will get stuck in your head, but very deep and very different, I would say. If you never really came across these guys before, like me, after been so many years, it's a very interesting refresh. It's a very different sound, I would say, compared to what I'm normally used to sounding them from them. But I like it, man. I definitely like it. Like I said, we've reacted to a lot of these ones already, so I'm seeing hopefully the new ones we see will stick to that energy, stick to that grit. They keep that tone of the album, I would say. But we're just gonna have to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, very solid first track, title track of the album. No complaints here, I would say. But like I said, I don't know about the video side of things. I don't know how they got permission to post that sort of thing. But either way, it's kind of I don't want to get too much into it. But I would say hopefully I don't get flagged for putting on this live streaming this. But either way, we're gonna keep it going here. This is the next track, Certainty, another one that we reacted to off this channel already, I would say. I don't know if this might be the first one that they released, I think so. I don't know. But this one came out a while ago, I would say, but a couple months earlier this year, I would say, maybe January or February, I would say. So very early in the year that they released this one, I would say, from what I remember. But this one, like I said, very similar to Vindicate, very similar with the tones, very similar to that aggression, that just just choppy, just muted chords, very chug riff heavy and stuff like that. Very doomy as well with the chords, with the breakdown and sort of things like that. But Andy doing his thing, very doing his with the cleans, with his clean choruses and stuff like that. So very reminiscent of Vindicate. So but I'm just gonna keep it going here. This is the second one off the new record from Black Veil Brides, Certainty. By the way, was the song too loud on that one? Because I can turn it down if you couldn't really, if I was too loud on the, if you couldn't really hear me either on the, because it's kind of hard to gauge over here what's loud and what's not, because they go by the volume levels and stuff like that. But because I don't want to be talking the whole time and you guys can't hear what I'm saying. That would suck. But this is the second one of the new Black Veil Brides record, Certainty.
certainty.
So simple, but it's so hard. Very old school tone.
So certain every day you have found the perfect way to guard the lions from the slaughter you have started. And thank God you'll never say what you never meant to say. With iron rights you drink up all your sorrows. As I torch you,
Give me Andy. Still catchy chords though. Oh, double time it. That double bass. Yeah, I like when bands alternate the second verse. Make it heavy. Go, boys! Go, Andy! Build it up! Woo-hoo! Yo, rock down! Yeah, could have made that like a little bit more heavy. Like extend it a little bit more. Maybe add like the beginning chugs in there. Oh, let's get it. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I like. That's what I like, man. Still heavy, still catchy, still has that grit. You know, like I said from this new album. I like it, man. I like it, man. Andy's doing his thing, showing off his vocal capabilities, doing those high screams, doing those high screams in there as well. I feel like my only critique though is just like a little bit on the vocal side of things, especially on the mix. Andy's. I'm not saying he's bad. He's like bad sounding or anything, but it's like I feel like on the mix side of things, they just make it sound a little bit too crispy for me, a little bit too like on the trebly side of things. If that makes sense, it just sounds like a little bit crackly, at least in the when he's doing those high screams, like when we on the maybe toned down a little bit on the distortion sort of things. But I don't know, maybe that's what he wanted to do. But just to add that, clipping layer just to make it sound more, intense, I would say. But I don't know. To me, it just sounds like a little bit too much. But either way, on the vocals, on the growl side of things, though, those sound pretty good. Hopefully, we get some more on the deeper growl sort of things with the layering of the highs. But like I said, very easy track, man. Very simple, very hard hitting, two-steppy vibe. You already know how it is on the beat down sort of things. Where it's very simple, but it just hits so hard though, man. Sometimes you just need a simple beat, a simple, chug pattern, and it just makes it just sounds so much better, man. It's like you don't want to overcomplicate anything. If it's just a simple beat and a simple chug riff, that's all you need, man. Like I said, but I like this one. Like I said, it's not my favorite one, I would say, but it definitely still hits hard. Definitely, goes back on the Definitely still keeps the tone on this new record. But video side of things on this one, like I like when bands like to tell stories with their tracks. I like when they, try to add this, other layer of storytelling with their music videos. I have no idea what the hell is going on, but either, like I said, either way. But I'm guessing it's two guys like battling it out. And I guess whoever loses, I guess Andy sacrifices them. That's what we can see here, like when he's digging that pit. I don't know if it's like a battle to the death sort of thing, or who's proving what sort of thing. I don't know what's going on, but either way, like I said, a lot of this metal bands like to use the sort of like gothic imagery, I say, as well, especially on like this, manor or like this castle, like in the woods sort of thing. I feel like a lot of bands like to use that sort of, visual style in there as well. So I've definitely seen that sort of trope before, but like I did mention in my previous video on this track. But either way, still a solid track, still a solid album nonetheless. No complaints here so far. We're just gonna have to keep it going here to see what more new surprises. I'm eager to see what the new surprises are about or on this track, so we're just gonna keep it going here. But next one here, we got Bleeders. Oh, they did add Bleeders on here. Okay, like I said, Bleeders, man. Like, this one's probably definitely my favorite one. This is probably definitely my favorite one off these guys. I thought they were only going to keep this on, like, the Bleeders EP that they released about a year or two ago or so. So I didn't know they were going to put this on this album. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that one. I like that. Okay, let's get it. Let's get it, man. If you guys don't know this song, you're definitely going to be in for a treat. You're definitely going to be in for a ride. This song right here, when I heard it for the first time, is the song I would say that definitely got me back into these guys. Definitely wanted me to check out. Ooh, hold on, Andy, hold on. I'm still speaking on this track, man. I know you're excited to show me the track again, but hold on a minute. I don't know why I played it self. That was kind of weird. Like I said, I'm excited for this one, man. Like, this one definitely brought me back into them when I first listened to this one. Like I said, it definitely wanted me to check them out again. It definitely brought me in to this new sound, this new tone that they were doing. I feel like this is the sort of the time frame that they did start doing this new heavier tone, this new sort of like, sound that brought me into loving these guys again. So I like this one, man. It's been a while since I heard this one, but it's definitely on the catchy side of things, definitely on the heavier side of things, definitely on the breakdowns as well. So I like this one, man. Let's get it. Definitely sing this one, from time to time when I want to get into the mood yet again. So let's get it. Might sing myself on this one again when we listen to it right now, but this is the next one off the new Black. I can't even speak. I'm too excited. So the next one off the Black Veil Brides record, Bleeders. I just like the whole imagery too, the whole story of this one as well. Just like the whole dark tone.
Would you ever believe that a fire is set each time I try?
Give me goosebumps, Andy.
With all the beautiful friends that you always depend to stay in the light of fame. They want you there to save a life.
That'd be easy to like sing along to as well.
But only if you're dressed in what they like. You sin for fun and fall away. You're just a pawn.
Love those chugs. Solid riff action as well. Sing it, Andy. Getting goosebumps. Getting chills. Oh, I love this song. You're a bleeder, ladies and gentlemen. Ready, ladies and gentlemen? Let's break it down. Those triplets with those chugs. And the solo piece. And another breakdown. And the double bass. Can't deny, man, the song's a banger. It has everything you could possibly want. And it keeps going. One more time. Let me know if you're a bleeder, ladies and gentlemen. Put it in the chat. We're all bleeders here. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I love that tone, man. Oh, I love that. I love that track, man. What a way to end a track too, man. Just keep the energy going, keep the intensity going. You just don't want it to stop. You just want it to keep going. You just want them to be, heavier. You just want the breakdown to keep going, man. Oh, I love that one. I love that, man. What more could you possibly want, man? What more of a track from these guys could you possibly want? It brings the energy, brings the dark tones, brings the dark vibe with the storytelling element, brings in the intensity with the breakdowns, brings the catchy chorus vibe that my Andy does here in every song that he does, brings the breakdowns, brings the solo pieces in there as well. It just, what more could you possibly want in a track like this, man? Definitely my favorite one from these guys. I'm super glad that they added it in this record. I wasn't expecting them to, like I said, because it did come out at the time when they were doing that, like the Bleeders EP, when they were doing like this sort of like, experimental sort of stuff, I would say, during like the Red album. I know that's not what it's called, but you guys know what I'm talking about, the last album that came out. But they were doing like this, kind of like, newer sort of tone, like experimentation as well, I would say, on that one. I didn't really check that one out though, so I'm gonna have to go back and check that one out. But especially if they're like, more songs like this on there on the Bleeders one, I'm definitely be missing out, I would say. But like I said, man, definitely one of my favorite tracks so far, man. I'm super excited they added it on this record. I just like the whole vibe, man. The whole vibe of the stuff, like like I said, with the whole Victorian era sort of like, theme, the whole Victorian sort of like, tone, the vibe, the storytelling as well. I just like that sort of like, time period. I just like that. It just makes it sound more grittier. It just makes it sound, just that darkness of the tone, like the gothic tone as well. So I would say, it's very reminiscent of like, whole gothic horror also as well. But I did see something that Andy said, he was like, it's based off of, the Sweetie Todd, films and books, I would say. The whole, the Johnny Depp movie, I would say. I think it's based off that movie as well. So I don't know if I never really seen it, to be honest with you. I could be wrong about that, but if it is based on that movie, it did make me want to go watch it. I haven't seen it yet, but I did watch it. It makes me inspired to go see that movie and check that out. So it's very, it definitely made me want to inspired, to make my own, stuff based on, like horror figures and stuff like that. Similar to Ice Nine Kills in a way, I would say. So maybe they did take inspiration from them as well. But I don't know, man. Maybe he just likes that whole, era, that whole sort of, darkness, that twisty kind of cynical, stuff when it comes to like cinema and stuff like that, which I guess so maybe him and Spencer should collab. Maybe they should come up with a an intense horror, like a new horror sort of theme or a new horror sort of genre, I would say. Or maybe they can create their own kind of horror icon. I would say that would be interesting. Maybe a collab between these guys, the two horror icons in the scene. That would definitely be a crazy track nonetheless. But like I said, man, very banger of a track. I just love that one so much, man. You could not deny. You can't. If you say that one's not the best hitting one, I don't know. You have no idea what you're talking about, I would say. But it's definitely, like I said. But we're going to keep it going here. This is the next one. Hallelujah. This is the one that came out. I could be wrong. I think this was the very first one that they released as a single, man. I think because I do remember listening to this one at the time, Bleeders came out. This one came after Bleeders, I would say, at least after some time. This was the first one that they'd come out with. So this one definitely has the Bleeders energy, though. It definitely has that new tone, that new hard hitting, that fast paced riffing energy with those breakdowns in there as well, with the triplet breakdowns also. So this one's very reminiscent of Bleeders. If you guys like that one, you're definitely gonna like this one yet again. But this is the next one off the new Black Veil Brides record. Hallelujah. Not gonna lie, when I first heard it, this kind of intro threw me off, but then we get into the grittiness. Just the growls in this one too, it's so intense. The sins are forgotten the moment you let go. I pray for my failure, I beg for my blood, but heaven stays silent, the gates remain shut. Hallelujah, my soul, been crucified for letting go. Bro, so nice too. Good job of blending heavy with clean. They mock the forgotten, they spit on the weak. Brave new saviors tell you just the mixer is dirty. So loud, man. You can do it, Andy. Let's get it. I want more. I was the outcast, the ghost of my muse, the artist who's buried beneath the accused. Let's go, Andy. Now I'm a fire they'll never. Tell him. Let him know. Oh, do it up. Keep it going. Oh man, love those tones. it. Let's go, guys. I'll let you guys preach to me any day. Praise the prize, ladies and gentlemen. Praise the veil. Oh, yes. What a slapper, man. See, what a banger. I love this stuff, man. I love this. I love this new tone, this new energy, this new style. Oh, I love it. I love it, man. See, very reminiscent of Bleeders, like I said, but this one feels like it's more aggression heavy, more intense heavy, especially on the vocal side of things with the growls, I would say, with Andy's voice. So see, he could do it, man. He could definitely do it. He just doesn't do it enough, I would say. I don't know if he has struggle or he has like problems, you know, trying to get that low or doing those sort of, you know, screams. Maybe that's why he doesn't do it so much, but I don't know, man. Just when he does do it, no, I love it. I love it, man. We need that, more of that aggression. We need more of those deep sounding gutturals. We need more of those layering of those screams, man. We need just more of that. More of that. This whole album is, you know, based on aggression. It's based on intensity. It's based on anger. It's based on, you know, all that pent up, you know, aggression that you've been hiding in yourself. So we need more of that, Andy. Give us more. Give us more. I want more. Give it to me, Andy. Andy, give it to me. I shouldn't be saying that, but like I said, I just love when he does do that energy, when he does do that sort of style, man. I just wish we get more of that. But hopefully we get some more of that in this next one here. This is the first one. Okay, now we're getting to the new ones. They released this one about a day before they released the album, so I didn't check it out yet. I just wanted to save it for the reaction of this new album. So this is the first new one of this one. So this is going to be very interesting tone, very interesting twist. So I'm eager to check this one out for you guys. So, and then we also have believe it, there a feature here, yeah, featuring Lilith Scissor. I don't know where she's from. I don't think I've ever heard her vocals before or where she's from, or maybe she is in another band. I just don't know yet. I would have looked it up if I was doing a video for this one, but we're just gonna get it right into it here. But so if any of you know out there if she is from another band or if she is like doing like a solo sort of like a project herself, be sure to let me know. I might have to check her out as well if she slaps. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But like I said, man, overall solid track of the album. Solid track. I know it's been nothing but singles that we reacted to already, but it's just been nothing but bangers, nothing but heaters, nothing but slappers, I would say, from an album, at least so far, man. Because I can go back and listen to all these singles, you know, track to track, back to back, you know, nonstop, and I would not get tired of them because they just hit so hard and it just feels new every time you're listening to it. Just because, you know, at least for me, I would say it might be different for fans that have been with these guys for a long time, but like I said, I haven't been with them for like years, I would say, at this point. So it's just refreshing for me, I would say, just because this whole sound is new. It's all different for me coming into these guys, and I just would like, you know, just go back and listen to them time and time after again, and I wouldn't get tired of it, man. So I'm super excited to check this new one out for you guys. But hold up, we need a quick swig break. Be sure to stay hydrated out there, folks. Even when you listen to some slappers, even when you listen to some heavy bangers, we need to stay hydrated, because one of these songs can be so heavy, so powerfully intense packing, it can knock you the fuck out. So you're just gonna have to wait to keep you hydrated. You know, stay up there. You know, I'm already getting hot. It's already getting hot in here, and we're not even halfway through the album yet. So we're gonna have to keep it going here. Well, this is the next one off the new Black Veil Brides record, Cut, featuring Lilith Scissor.
I've got a lot of pressure on my mind. Every noise is a voice telling me to try.
Might get a clean one.
I'm lost in all my darkness.
Ooh, that's a violin
and I
piece.
can't let go. Every day I falter, every day I feel the pain.
Oh, wait a minute.
Before the altar of all this rage, here's the truth.
Already different.
Never believed in you.
It's a hard rock ride. please. Andy, what are we doing here? Or maybe she's trying to put them back together.
When I think of what you've done to me,
Every day's a battle when I'm living in the hate. Rise above the surface, but it's just too late.
Okay. Kind of have like a western twang to her voice.
Cause you cut me down. Yeah, you cut me down again. Nothing's ever gonna be alright. It's time to say goodnight. I hear you praying to Jesus. You know where to feel it. Nothing's ever gonna be alright. It's time
Hey.
to say goodnight. Round and round inside my mind.
Yeah, I was not expecting this one.
Losing time, but
At least an emotional
it's
piece.
gonna be alright. Round and round inside my mind, I'm losing sleep and losing time, but
Let's go, Andy.
oh, it's gonna
Save her.
be alright.
Bring her back to life.
'Cause you cut me down. Yeah, you cut me down again. Nothing's ever gonna be alright. It's time to say goodnight. I hear you praying to Jesus. You won't have to feel it. Nothing's ever gonna be alright. It's time to say goodnight. Round and round inside my mind, I'm
Oh man.
losing sleep and losing time, but I know
Why do I feel emotional?
it'll be alright. Round and round inside my
What's going on?
mind, I'm losing sleep and losing time, but I know it's gonna be alright.
Woo! Also, Dr. Philippines. Oh man. Woo-hoo!
'Cause you cut me down. Yeah, you cut me
Oh, we're still going.
Nothing's ever gonna be alright. It's time to say goodnight.
Oh wow. What an emotional roller coaster, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. Why do I feel like crying? Why do I feel emotional? Oh my god, what a wow, I was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting Andy to hit me in the feels. Andy, when I said hit me, I didn't mean hit me like that. I didn't mean say to give it to me that hard. Oh my god, Andy. What was that? What was that? Jesus Christ. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get in. Very emotional, very story driven, I would say, as well. I'm glad they went with the story on this one instead of just doing like, not, because it definitely betrays the song even more and makes you connect with the lyrics even more. Especially, I don't know who this Lilith Czar is. I don't know if they're associated with Andy in a way. I don't know if she's in another band, like I said. I don't know if Andy is dating the chick. I don't know if they're married, but they started, getting affectionate in the video. So I don't know if they're a thing. I don't know if they're together, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to check that out. But either way, like I said. So, but she does have an amazing voice to her, though. She definitely has that, clean, that clarity in her voice. Very on the lower end, I would say. She just has like a lower tone to her voice, I would say, in her singing. But she has that like a little southern kind of, accent to her, especially when she was doing like the second verse. I would say I kind of noticed a hint of like little southern twang in her voice. But I don't know where she's from. That tones with her voice, especially with Andy when he does his clean tones. He's definitely on the lower end mixed with hers. So I felt like they compared each other very well with their vocal tones. But very emotional song. I kind of understood what was going on, the more I got it. So it turns out Andy was not harvesting dead bodies. He was not, harvesting dead body parts. He was trying to, bring this chick, bring his lover, I guess, back to life, I would say, because I guess she kind of like passed away, and he was just kind of like making a song, about her, saying everything's going to be all right. Be okay, I'll bring you back to life, even if it was for like a brief moment, I would say, because like, maybe he wanted to dance with her one last time, but turns out, it wasn't permanent. She ended up, passing away again. A little bit of Frankenstein-y energy, my man here, with, trying to raise the dead with Andy here, Neil Dr. Frankenstein Andy over here. But either way, it's very, yet and how absurd it might sound just by talking about it. Visually, I would say it flows very well with the tracks and stuff like that. So it worked very well all together in one package, I would say. So, but I don't know if Andy's religious. I don't know if the band's religious, I would say. So I know I saw something saying that they're not trying to like be that religious fronted band. They're not trying to put religion into their tracks. But this one is has like a lot of religious tropes, a lot of very like vibes and stuff like that when it comes to that sort of thing. So I don't know, maybe my man Andy is now, he just wants to portray that more. But I don't know, but I like that track though. Very subtle track, very emotional track, I would say. Very kind of reminiscent of like Motionless in White's Masterpiece in a way, because they kind of have similar hard rocky ballad tones, even especially the way they sing their tracks. Very emotional, I would say, the way Chris does his vocals as well when they do emotional tracks. But very hard rocky, very ballad-esque on the vocals, on the guitar sort of things as well. Wasn't expecting that surprise solo piece though at the end there. Thought we were just gonna play it out, but no, my man here, Flair, and he's showing off his guitar strings yet again, showing off those tappy skills, man. These guys are amazing with the taps, amazing with the solos. These guys are probably one of the best guitar players in the game when it comes to solos and stuff like that. These guys are amazingly talented, man. They've been around for decades, like I said. They've been together as a band for decades as well. And then wherever Andy found these guys, wherever they grew up, Andy definitely made the right choice, I would say, because these guys are just so talented, so well-versed when it comes to the guitar playing, and I just love it, man. I love it. Let's get it. What a good first track, to be introduced to on this new album, man. I'm excited. We're going to get some more ones like that? I don't know. It's going to have to wait and see, but definitely a surprise hitter, surprise gem, and because that's why you never underestimate these guys, man. You never know what new track they're going to put out next. You never know what they're going to sound like next, and I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. So let's get it. We're going to keep it going here off the new record. This is the next one off the new Black Veil Brides record, Alive. How we doing on the chat sort of things? Everything good? Was that one too loud? Because it kind of sounded loud to me in my ears, but it's kind of hard to judge the mix when it comes to these tracks. So some could be louder, some could be quieter as well. So let me know if the one does sound too loud. I'm gonna like return it down for you guys. But we are gonna keep it going here. This is the next one off the new Black Veil Brides record, Alive. Ooh, okay. Definitely not like the last one. Okay. That chanty energy again. Ooh, that bass in. Those jumpy vocals, the jumpy bass. old school sounding, this one, though. Especially this chanty bit. Chant it out, ladies and gentlemen.
All your certainty of what is good, it can betray you maybe now.
Speak to me, Andy. Of course, the solo piece. Ooh, a little short and sweet. The dropout screen? Oh my god, what was that? What was that? Okay. Okay. I like that little twist at the ending there. A little dropout scream. Little little choppy bits in there. Should have played that out throughout the whole thing. That would have been interesting. But what a slapper though. What a slapper. Very old school sounding, I would say, especially on the chanty sort of things, the anthem sort of screams, I would say. Very, get the crowd amped up, get the, anthem, the choiry aspect that this band loves to do, I would say. But it's very old school in a way, I would say, to like their play style, similar to like, to how they used to, write music, I'd say, out in a way. But especially like the post-hardcore days, stuff like that. With a lot of two steps in this one as well. With the drum man here, definitely love those two step and those drop out basses and stuff like that. So, but it's a very interesting track though. I would say it's not my favorite one, but it's definitely heavy. Nonetheless, Andy's definitely showing his screams, like I've been saying, I've been wanting, which I appreciate that. But like I don't know what it is. So when he does do those high screams, when he does do those, those high distortion screams, I don't know, it has to be in the mix sort of thing. Just I don't know why they just overdriven his voice so much to the point where it just sounds crackly, where it just sounds like it's way too much treble, I would say. So it's a very interesting choice, I would say. For me, it's just not personally what I would do, I would say. But I don't know, it is what it is. But like I said, he's doing it. I like what Andy's doing it. He's showing off his vocals, but it's just something in there with the mix. I don't know why they did that, but either way, solid banger, solid surprise twist at the end. Like I said, very intense, heavy track in there. But I'm gonna keep it going here. This is another new one off the new record here called Purgatory. What is that word here? I'm gonna Overture. Is that 4? I believe that's 4. Purgatory Overture 4. No idea what that means, but I'm sure it's related to some sort of maybe some sort of like old Greek storytelling, or some old sort of like underworld-esque sort of themage. We got here themage. Yes, themage is a word now. I'm gonna be using it. Don't discriminate me. But like I said, I don't know what it's gonna portray here. Maybe he's gonna be talking about that his life in purgatory, maybe, perhaps, or maybe talking about it. I don't know. It's very interesting, but we're gonna keep it going here. This is gonna load for me. There we go. Oh, it's only 2 minutes long, so it might be like another, a sermon piece. It might be another, preachy bit where, he talks to us. So I'm excited. Let's get it, Andy. Let's hear your preachiness. Tell us that story. Like the orchestra. Ooh. Man, I always like me some pianos. singing the lines from Vindicate. The strings are playing the lines from Vindicate. I like this. It shows like another side of the band. Like, I like when bands like add a lot more elements into the tracks, the albums. Sounds very heartfelt now. Getting into like borderline Disney territory here with this one. A marching band. Okay. Black Veil Brides goes Disney. I can get behind that. Get behind that, but like I said, I like when bands, you know, add a lot of different sort of elements, a lot of different instruments into the band, into the music, into their albums and stuff. It just shows a different side of the band, man. It just makes it more creative, I would say, in a way, even though if it is used as a break song for like live shows, if they just play it when the band needs a break, when they need to like add, you know, change, you know, instruments, when they need to, you know, change, you know, like stuff on the stage and stuff, they play this sort of stuff, you know, to give the, you know, the workers time, the stagehands time to like change stuff around, I would say. But it's very different side of the band, I would say. Very more heartfelt than what I was hoping. You know, I thought, you know, he was gonna go into some like dark sermony sort of stuff like he did at the beginning of the album. But no, we went full on Disney heartfelt, you know, happy emotional vibe on this one. So it's very interesting to see that one go on. So it's curious to what that would lead into on this next one here. So it's going to be very confusing when you enter it and end it on a Disney note and then going into on some deathcore shit, because that's going to definitely throw some people off, I would say. So no, but this is going to be the next one off the one here. Revenger featuring Machine Head. Oh, this is the one that they released on the WrestleMania that they premiered on the WrestleMania. I saw something that said that they premiered a new song for WrestleMania, and this was the one that they did on that show. So that would have been interesting to see, you know. They didn't play it, but they played it, I guess, on the loudspeakers, I would say, for the show. I guess many people probably did not notice it was a new song from these guys. So, but either way, if it was me listening to that show, I probably would have catched up on that. I'm like, wait a minute, is this a new Black Veil Bride song? But like I said, this one hit hard though. So definitely hit hard. It very worked well with the Machine Head voice. Like I said in my previous video when I reacted to this song here, I'm not too familiar on Machine Head. Like I said, I never reacted to them, so I don't really know what they sounded like. But I felt like his vocals on this one, they worked pretty well with each other. So, you know, he definitely got on that, you know, aggression sort of style with Andy. He definitely had that, you know, different style of vocal tone, I would say, as well. But the raspinesses of the vocals very worked pretty well on this one. So I'm excited to check this one out again for you guys. So this is Revenger, newest track off the record, featuring Machine Head. Let's get it. What's going on here? YouTube is not letting me listen to the bangers. Not letting him continue with the heavy bangers. Come on, YouTube. There we get it. Definitely amps you up, though. Get those riffs in! Gotta have those chants in there. Love those chugs, man. Let's go, Machine Head. Woo! Go, boys! You're me in! Boom it up!
Every tear that you cry, you can
Subtle triplets.
every wound,
Subtle
every scar. You built
fast-paced
this
videos.
bullshit, here we are. I'll never stop until it's done. Just to serve that.
Go, Andy, build me up again!
I see your demise. It's just a moment.
Hit me! Woo! So much energy packed in one song. You need something like this at wrestling shows. Get your adrenaline hyped. Oh, what a banger. What a banger, man. See, I'm glad they chose that one for, like, you know, at least on the live show. It was probably, like, probably better, I would say, intense. I don't know how much of the song they played or debuted at the event, but I mean, you can definitely see that. I can definitely see that one being played at, like, you know, live events, live sporting events, you know. It definitely has that arena rock sort of feel to it, you know, I would say, just so, like, you know, when you're waiting to, like, you know, like, even at a concert, if you're waiting for, like, another band or something, they can put this song on and be just, like, an intense, heavy track, I would say, for people to listen to. But this one, I could definitely see being played in, like, the live, you know, mainstream, you know, in entertainment sort of feel and stuff like that, if that makes sense. But I like that one, man. What a banger. Like I said, I don't know too much about, you know, Machine Head, but, like, from the vocal standpoint alone, you know, I wasn't expecting him to do those sort of, like, low guttural kind of, like, you know, vocals, especially with Andy's, you know, mixing those two together. I didn't know what kind of vocal tone he did. I thought Machine Head wasn't really metal, I would say. So, like, it's very interesting, you know, for me, for the first time listening to them, you know, very, you know, surprising, I would say, to hear them do those, you know, kind of like match, you know, their vocal patterns in a way that was very, for events intense, pretty intense, heavy track, you know, especially when they were getting into it, those fast-paced riffs, man, those deep, chuggy tones, those start breakdowns, man. I like that sort of stuff when they just let the tone ring out on those chugs, man. Very intense, heavy track. I love when they do stuff like that, man. Wasn't expecting, you know, I think they had like 2 solos in here as well, you know, something like that. So when I acted to this one the first time, you know, I was very surprised listening to that one. So if you guys want to go back, be sure and check that one if you want to see my full first reaction on this track alone. But like this one, like I said, I could definitely see it being played on the sort of mainstream sort of stages when it comes to, like, you know, live entertainment and stuff like that. So I like this one, man. Like I said, but we're going to keep it going here. So far, this album has been nothing but heaters, nothing but bangers. nothing but nonstop, you know, intensity stuff, man. I've just been so surprised off this album. It's fun. It's probably gonna be my favorite album so far, I would say. You know, because there's been a lot already, I would say, that came out, at least on the metal sort of stuff with this year. You know, with all these past couple of years when I've been doing these live reactions for you guys, you know, a lot of albums have been dropping, a lot of bangers have been slapping, a lot of heaters have been dropping from all my favorite bands. But this one might be my favorite one of the year so far, man. And that's saying something, because considering I haven't really checked my back on these guys for a long time, but this new tone, this new aggression, this new stuff this new age that Black Veil Brides is doing, I love it, man. I'm all here for it, these guys, man. I love these guys, man. I'm getting, keep it going. Keep it, guys, keep it up. Keep it up. Andy, if you're watching this, there's no way in hell you are. But keep up the good work, my guy. Keep up the energy. Keep up the aggression. Keep up this live tone, this energy-driven tone, this deep tone. I love it, man. I definitely love it, man. Like I said, so far we got non-stop new ones for you guys. So I'm super excited to check this one out. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, including this one here. So far, so good, man. No complaints so far. Even like the sort of emotional, like rock ballad sort of one I liked. So, you know, I thought I wasn't really going to like that one too much, but it turned out to be pretty nice. Turned out to be pretty banging. So, like I said, we could get another one like that coming up here, or it could just be full on aggression, full on intense head-to-head banging action, man. You already know how it is, but like I said, I'm here for it, so we're going to keep it going here. This is the next new one off the new Black Veil Brides record, Sorrow. We've been doing a lot of like atmosphere stuff too with this album, I've noticed. Ooh. Hear those growls?
Now looking back, I know I let you down, and everything inside me
That hard rocky tone.
out. I never told you
Ooh, the bass!
how it felt. The devil seemed to have me figured out. Won't let go. I fall down. I let you go. I'm broken, sinking to my sorrow. I become my own shadow. I guess I know now what I am. I am the enemy.
Oh, wait a minute! Little electronic beats! Oh, I wasn't expecting some synth action. Trippies! Kinda has like a hard rock undertone to it. Especially for like the chorus sort of thing. Yeah, I was not expecting this. A lot of different elements. We got electronic, we got sort of like a hard rock undertone. Or EDM. Song kind of has it all. Let's go, Andy. Tell me. Show me more. it. Has everything. Surprise breakdown number 2! Oh man, I like that. I like those little surprises they snip in there at the end of the tracks, man. More bands need to do that. More bands need to do that, because when you think it's just gonna end, when it's just gonna think, okay, this is the ending, coming up, after you would say so, but then you get hit by an unexpected breakdown, man. I like that. I like that sort of thing, and more bands need to do that to keep listeners on their toes, to keep fans guessing, to keep the track going on, a little bit longer, I would say. So I like that. I like that sort of hit. This one had it all, though. This one is very interesting to put into words, I would say, but it had everything. It had a lot of hard rocky influence, like I said, from the chorus sort of thing. It had electronic bits when you're doing the "I'm the enemy" lines at the end of the chorus in there. We had the deep chuggy doomy breakdowns in there as well. We had solo piece. I think there was a solo in there. Oh no, I already kind of forgot. But we had a lot of different sort of genres, I would say, packed into this one track, which is very different. A lot of atmospheric stuff in there as well. But it's a very interesting track. I don't know if they just wanted to try adding some electronic stuff in the track. I don't know if they just wanted to make it to sound different, or just wanted to add a little bit of spice into the track to make it sound stand out a little bit more compared to other tracks. I don't know, but it's very different. I wouldn't, if it was up to me, I wouldn't put the electronic vocals in there as well. It just kind of feels like it's kind of off-putting. It's kind of I would say it is the thing that's the most noticeable in the track. It just kind of stands out a little bit too much for me, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Maybe they just didn't want to. They wanted it to stand out a bit to other tracks, like I said. But it's a very interesting track. Very interesting. I like that settle, that freaking ending breakdown at the end there. That was very surprising. Very intense, heavy stuff there. Very surprising. I like that sort of thing. So I like when a lot of bands, like I said, need to do that more. I feel like these guys, I don't know, I don't remember if they've done that before in the past, or if they added sort of play it at the ending a little bit. I know it used to be a staple thing from back in the day, when Bullet for My Valentine used to do that sort of thing, when you thought the song was ending, but then they kind of double timed it again, kind of keep the song going, did play a little subtle riff at the end there. They were very known to do that from back in the day, but I like to see that these guys are starting to do that. Maybe they're trying to bring it back. Maybe they're trying to do that sort of thing again. I don't know, but I like that, man. I like that, man. Keep the fans guessing, Andy. Keep the songs, different. Keep them unique. Keep each ending, you never expect what the ending is going to be. So keep that energy going. Keep those breakdowns coming. And I like these breakdowns, man. These breakdowns just hitting so hard. And this whole album has been hitting so hard, man. Just from the tones, from the triplets, they're not even that complicated either. It's just fast, double bass, triplet heavy in there, a little bit of dropout sections here and there, but it's just full on trips, man. Full on trippies. That's all you need, man. Just fast paced trippies, those deep sounding, chugged out tones in there as well, those open chords. That's all you need to make a heavy breakdown, man. I like that, man. Keep it simple. Keep it hard hitting. That's all you need. I love it. I love it. We're going to keep it going here. This is the next one off the new Black Veil Brides record. Grace. That Grace interlude. Also, so this is probably going to be just another instrumental sort of thing, a little breaks, a little break track. It's only a minute long here though, so we're going to keep it going. I'm going to let the one play out after this one. So this is going to be probably just a little bit of a setup piece, I would say, or it could be another, sermon-y piece. Let's see what it is. A lot of instrumentals on this one too. Each one sounds kind of different in a way. more emotional. Very interesting. Kind of has like a little bit like a, you know, South American kind of drum beat to it in the background, overlying with the, you know, violin stuff like that. It's very interesting. Very interesting take on that. I don't know what prompted them to do that sort of thing, but like I say, I like when they do these sort of like newer tones, these newer sort of sounds. It's just like adding towards the atmospheric flair to these tracks. But let's see what it leads into. This is the next one. Ave Mira. I'm butchering the hell out of this. I'm sorry. Ave Mira. I don't know. I don't know if that's Latin American. I don't know if that's, you know, European. I have no idea what this is, but I'm butchering the hell out of this. Ave Mira. I believe that's how you say it. And it's gonna be heavy. Okay. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, we're death metal. The Latins are going intense. Ooh. Ooh, I like the flow with this one. Got string picking action. Those tremolos. That death metal vibe. Ooh. Don't do me style lead. Get the sweet bees. One more time. It doesn't stop. It keeps going. Oh, where are we going? Oh man. This one is definitely gonna be crazy in the pits. Pick it up! The fills are disgusting. Oh my god. What was that, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my god, that was unnecessarily heavy. That was unnecessarily heavy. Why was that so heavy? Jesus Christ, especially after the intro there, the beginning intro there, where it was just like, little subtle, violin bits with like bongos playing in the background. Then we went full on deathcore, full on death metal action with the tremolo pickies, with the double bass nonstop, with the hardcoreness of the break. I don't even know. The whole thing sounded like a breakdown to me. Just what a banger. What a slapper, man. It's Anna Maria. Is that what the name of the track was? Hold on, let me see. No, it's Eve Maria. I don't know if that's a typo. Maybe that's a typo. But he was saying Anna Maria, wasn't he? Well, I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong about that. But I have no idea what the song's about. But oh my God, was that heavy. What a slapper. What a banger. Full on doomy vibes with the tremolo picking in there. Wasn't expecting that sort of, play style with the, like I said, double bass. Love the chorus though. I felt like it flowed so nice with the way that it was structured with the fast-paced riffs when it was just flowed kind of nicely into the fast-paced kind of chorus sort of thing. But I like that, man. Very post-hardcore in a way, I would say. Feel like from back in the day when he was like just singing those fast-paced choruses, just went with the whole, vibe back then. But it flowed pretty nice, man. Very catchy. Like I said, these guys love their anthems. They love their cheers. I think I've said this before, that if you overplay the cheer too much, it can sound kind of like tacky in a way. They just overplay it too much in a way, because I feel like every chorus sounds like that. They have their whoas in every sort of chorus sort of thing. So it can kind of get, kind of cheesy to me in a way, personally. But if it works, it works nonetheless. But it seems like they have it in every song at this point. But like I said, that aside, I love this track. It's very hard hitting, very heavy intensity. Wasn't expecting this sort of play style, especially after the intro we got at the beginning there. But this one might be my favorite one. This one might be up there with Bleeders, man. Not gonna lie. This one might be up there with Bleeders. Like I said, nothing's probably gonna top Bleeders, but this one's probably, borderlines, at the cusp. It's very, very close with this one, especially on the intensity side of things, with the aggression sort of things, oh man, I like that one. I definitely like that. Wasn't expecting that. Was not expecting that. We only got 2 tracks left, though. We only got 2 tracks left, and so far it's been non-stop heaters, non-stop intensity, non-stop bangers. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how this album's gonna end, man. This one has just been non-stop insane for me. So we're gonna end on an intensity, gravity-defying note, or we're gonna end on a soft bit. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. But this is the next one off the new record from Black Veil Brides. Woe is Pain. No, Woe and Pain. My bad. I was thinking of Woe is Me. That's a whole nother different heavy hitting band. Not gonna lie, but it says Woe and Pain. Sung pianos, those harmonizing leads.
Here I find myself in a pool of blood, sitting in a home I built below the god above.
Club beat energy.
And the walls are all cracked and the air is thick, and all I see are just hollow and sick. And now these regrets
going a little Bad Omens vibey.
Every time that I rise up,
The Black Veil Omens.
Someday I'll find strength to get out of this.
Bad Veil Brides.
I'll break through. The demons sing. This is the house of woe and pain. I'm not staying, I will break down the chains that hold me in here, the lies that keep me in fear no more. This is where the vengeance has to end.
The triplets hit again.
I used to think that I'd never leave, and all these ghosts, they just seem to be a part of me. But every step I take as my mind gets clear,
Spit it,
the
Andy.
whispers fade and then they disappear. Paradise lost, it's just a lie. I reign in worlds
That underground
beneath
high.
the sky. No more shadows, no more fear. I'm walking out.
This is the house of woe and pain. I'm not staying, I will break
let's get it, boys.
The house of woe and pain.
Build it up. Take me to the house.
Saying I'll break the chain.
Ooh. Ooh. Bringing the wet me into it. And a solo piece. Man, when you think they can't do more, they just end up doing more. It's insane. These guys are just adding. I spoke too soon. Oh, what is going on?
This is the house of woe and pain.
These dirty boys.
I'm not staying, I will break down.
Disgusting boys.
Hold me in here. The lies that keep me in fear no more. This is where the vengeance has to end. This is the house of woe and pain. I'm not staying, I will break the chains. The flames may rise, the torture never ends. But this is where I will begin again.
Wait, was this supposed to end like that? Was it supposed to end like that? Hold up. Hold up. That kind of ended too quick for my liking. Hold up. Was that supposed to happen? I think they kind of messed up on the mix right there. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but either way, I don't know. I think they kind of should have played it out a little bit, in my opinion. Well, let me check here.
This is where I will begin again.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a mess up. I think someone messed up on the mix there. Someone messed up on the edit. It cut it off too quick right there. But either way, what another banger! What another banger, ladies and gentlemen. What was that? What was that? We had a mix of different just incorporations of genres yet again. We had like a little bit of, Bad Omens intensity. We have a little bit of like club beat section. We had Black Veil Omens in here. We had Bad Veil Brides in here in the building, ladies and gentlemen. What was that at the beginning there? Trying to replicate that sort of like, cyberpunky-esque kind of like tone in there with the little subtle, risk here and there playing here and out and there. But then we went, full on like sort of like, different sort of, I have no words. It's just like there was just so much stuff packed into that single track, man. Especially like on the breakdown sort of things, kind of like in the midsection there, the build up in there as well. They just had so many surprises in there. I had no idea what was gonna happen next. Man, these guys are insane. These guys are insane. They even in the middle of a track, they keep you guessing. Even in the middle of a song, like you have no idea what's gonna happen next. I felt like they could have, amplified on that, sort of play style a little bit more when they were doing like those long double bass sections in there. They could have went some sort of like doomy section breakdown after that, but they just went right back into the chorus in there again. But either way, what another banger. What another banger in there, ladies and gentlemen. These guys' riffs are just nuts. It seems like every song is just so compact with so much stuff. You just have to, this is an album that you would have to go back and listen to multiple times just to fully grasp everything in every single track, because one listen isn't going to cut it. One track, one playthrough throughout all the tracks isn't going to cut it, man. You're going to have to listen to every single track multiple times to fully hear all the elements, all the instruments, all like the sort of like layering and like from the vocals to the instruments to everything in between, man, because there's just so much stuff packed in this album, and it's insane. It's definitely insane. Hard work has definitely paid off for these guys, I definitely would say, because it's been a long time, I would say, since they came out with a fully fledged new album. I would say I don't really know the release of their last album, how many years ago that was, but it just definitely proves that time is well deserved for these guys, and time is definitely deserved to create and craft such an amazing album, I would say, because I don't know, a lot of bands on all these schedules are just insane when it comes to like their tour dates and their recording times and stuff like that. It still amazes me how all these bands have time to even write and create new albums, especially if they're constantly touring and stuff like that. So it's crazy to me, man. It's definitely crazy to me. This whole album in general has been amazing to me. It's this whole album has been a surprise, and we only got one last track to go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final one off the new record here, titled. Hold on, what does that say? Eschaton. Some of these words I feel like are made up because I have no idea what that means. I don't even want to know how that's pronounced, but it's to me it looks like Eschaton. Eschaton. I have no idea, but this is the final track off the new Black Veil Brides record. Sadly to say, because I kind of want it to keep going, man. I kind of want this energy to keep going. I kind of don't want it to stop, but I guess that's how it is, man. All good things have to come to an end, but I'll definitely have to put this album on my own time. It's definitely gonna have to spin this album on yet again when I have to listen when on my own time when I'm listening to this one, because what an amazing album this one has been. But so far, this is the last track off the new Black Veil Brides one, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to let me know what you guys think of this album so far, because it's just been non-stop heaters, non-stop bangers, non-stop surprises, I would say, and a lot of unexpected stuff we haven't really heard from these guys before, I would say. So it's definitely a lot of intense heavy stuff on this one. So if you guys have been sleeping on these guys like I have, you definitely want to check this one out for you guys on your own time. So, and this definitely makes me want to go back and check out some of the previous albums that I maybe not have gone on my way to listen to on my own time in previous years. So it definitely gets me excited to check these guys out, and when they come around to go see them yet again. But this is the last and final one off the new Black Veil Brides record, ladies and gentlemen. Eschaton. Let's go, boys. End it with a banger.
I guess that I pretend to be okay. Feeling sick.
And this new age of Black Veil Brides. But this is only the beginning.
You'll never know the real me on the stage. Never see the face of shame. I hid it so well.
Almost Tim Burton.
Everything I've said is laced with thread.
Oh, Nightmare Before Christmas vibes.
Only works out when you dance. It's no way to live. So through the empty, awful
Annie.
memories, just keep fighting on.
With harmonies.
Life is never won. Just keep fighting on.
And those pipes.
Life is never won.
Is Andy showing off his pipes? Yet again? Oh, is that it? Oh, is that it? Oh, no way that's it. No way that's it. Is that only like a minute long or a 2 minute long stuff? It's like a goodbye piece? Little goodbye letter? Oh, I thought they were gonna like, amplify that, give it some more like emotion, give it some more like orchestral, elements in there. Just amplify like this big old orchestral piece at the end there. Oh, but okay. Like I said, some of these tracks have been like, I wouldn't say count them as tracks. They're more like filler pieces, I would say. There's like maybe like 3 or 4 sort of like, songs in here that are only like 1 to 2 minutes. So I wouldn't really count those as tracks. But, okay. you know, it's an interesting way to end an album, but I thought they should do something like at the beginning there, where he was doing like these sermony pieces, where there's like he was doing these preachy sort of vocals. They kind of should have done that, I would say, to end the album. I would say, just because it's like he's setting up the album to be like this big powerful thing, and then at the end there he could like do some more like darker words or sort of stuff like at the end there. I don't know, that's just me, but it's more of like a, you know, like a big like emotional piece at the end there. It was kind of like inspiring piece, I would say, you know, when he would say like to get, you know, to maybe to tell the fans like at the end of shows or something like that maybe. But I don't know, it's very interesting, very like Tim Burton-esque, kind of like Nightmare Before Christmas-y sort of tone, I would say, with the piano and way the mood of the track of this sort of like, you know, last track here was, in a way, I would say, very on like the more creepier kind of moody sort of tone, but very emotional side nonetheless. I was expecting more, I would say, on the not more, I would say, but maybe like a better, like a more like a different way to end the album, and I would say, but very solid album nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a roller coaster of emotions, what a ride of intensity heavy stuff. There was a lot of intense heavy tracks on this one, which I am, you know, pleased about. You know, I love me some heavy tracks. I love me some, you know, in your face, you know, hard hitting, punchy, beat down, sort of a lot of two-steppy rips, you know, a lot of two-steppy, you know, drum beats in here and there in some of these tracks here, but definitely heavy on the breakdown sort of things, on the riffs. A lot of jumpy riff playing in here, a lot of like old school sort of string picking in there as well. But I love those deep rit tones when they just let them ring out on the chug sort of things. A lot of trippies, a lot of double bass playing in here. Like I said, the drum man, definitely an amazing thing. A lot of crazy, you know, fills and stuff like that. All these guys are talented when it comes to this band in here, especially, you know, I feel like a lot of the band members don't really get as much credit as they should, you know, in these metal bands, because half of the band, the majority of the band is the music, you know, because feel like a lot of people gravitate towards the vocalist and the front man as the band, but a lot of people tend to miss, you know, the band is what makes the, you know, the instruments, the band is what makes the music, I would say. So a lot of dedication, so a lot of like, you know, recognition goes towards the instrument players and the band, other band members of the band, you know, because half of the band is the music, I would say. So a lot of props to go to all these, you know, amazing, talented musicians. That's why I know they've done it for decades and stuff like that. They probably don't even need it. But like I said, it's been a long time since I came back to these guys. It's been a long time since I checked out these guys again. And I'm just super hyped to check out some more of these guys for you when it comes to like the older stuff, because I've definitely missed out on a lot. But it definitely gets me excited to check out these guys in the future. Go see them live. And if you guys have the chance to go see them live, be sure to let me know, because these guys definitely deserve this new era. This new era of Black Veil Brides is upon us, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm just super excited. I couldn't even be any more happier, because this one is definitely one of my favorite albums, I would say, so far, from at least from these guys. Definitely my favorite album from these guys, but as a whole, from the ones we reacted to already this year, it's probably definitely one of my favorites. But who knows what the rest of the year has in store for us, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like all these, you know, band members and all these, you know, favorite bands that I like are coming out with new singles and stuff out of the blue, out of the, you know, so we can just have a new album drop from some other crazy metal hitting band that, you know, in the next few months or so. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But so far, definitely my favorite band so far of the year, and from these guys as a whole. But and what a slapper, man. Definitely a slapper. Let me know what you guys think of this album, how it compares to other albums from these guys, or what it compares to like other albums that came out from the year. Be sure to let me know what your favorites are from the year as well. But so far, I would say this is my favorite one. But if there's any more albums that maybe they made that sound like this that I haven't heard, be sure to let me know down in the comments as well, and I might have to check out those albums yet again, because like I said, the last one I haven't really heard, I don't think, like the one that came before the Bleeders you know, track, or the EP or rather. So I understand they had some like sort of darky or moody tone and moody energy with their sort of like visuals and stuff like that, maybe that which prompted maybe the Bleeders outcome. But we're just gonna have to wait and see about that one. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another live stream from myself over here. So this is definitely gonna keep it going here. But whenever new albums come out, you always know I'm gonna be on those. So if there's any one of the ones that I might not know of, be sure to let me know, and that'll coming out later this year. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. But definitely gonna check out that new Motionless in White record. Surprise drop from my boy, you know, Chris over there at Motionless. You know, wasn't expecting them to come out with another fully fledged album this year. I was expecting, you know, maybe some singles or maybe later this year, I would say. Maybe we get something, but so far, it's 2 months away. We're getting another Motionless in White record, which is probably another new age of the band. They're just getting into this newer era, I would say, this new heaviness era, this new grittier era, especially on like if you guys haven't seen the album art for that new album, it's definitely more visceral. It's a more kind of inspired from like, you know, I would say Slaughter to Prevail in a way, with the especially when Alex wears the mask, you know, that when, and then similar to how Chris, you know, has it portrayed on the album cover, and is like kind of reminiscent of them in a way. But I'm sure he has his own visions, his own, you know, creativity behind the album, you know, create the album, you know, cover, I would say. So but I'm super excited to check that one out, man. All these bands are coming in with like new eras, new refreshes, a new, you know, sort of tone shift for all these bands, and I just couldn't be even more excited, man. Like I said, everyone's going to this new heavier, this more darker, this more grittier tone, and I just love it, man. Definitely love it. So I'm super excited to check that one for you guys out as well in the coming months. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, especially new here, who's going through every single bang on the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to miss out on a single one, I guarantee that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.